Love it. And this month, we're talking about stop, look, and listen. Remember, last week we did stop. Just stop. So, of course, today's talk is look. Today's talk is look. So I was out on a boat the other day. It was a wonderful day. It was a beautiful day. I love the ocean. I just love being on the sea, really. I can't get too far from it. You know, I don't have to live at the beach. You know, I don't have to do that. But I need to live close, you know, at least like a 20, 25-minute drive. I just need to be able to see it and touch it and just, you know, smell that ocean air every once in a while. You know, I just love it. You know, I'm bi-coastal. I don't know if anybody knew that. Grew up on the Atlantic. Now here I am living by the Pacific. And so I just love it. You know, I can't get enough of it. Anyway, I was out on the boat, and the boat was sailing very, very slowly through this huge pod of dolphin. I mean, it was just amazing. It was amazing. Hundreds. I mean, it was just so incredible. And I'm sitting in the boat, and I'm looking out over all, and they're just having a ball. You know, they're jumping and splashing and diving and swimming, and they're racing alongside with the boat. It was just amazing. And I started thinking, I'm seeing all of these dolphins, just hundreds of dolphins all around the boat. And I'm thinking, okay, so if these are the ones I'm seeing, how many are down there that I don't see? You know, this is just the surface, right? So how many are there that I'm not even aware of? What lies beneath? What lies beneath? You know, how much more is there than I can see with my limited eyesight? And, you know, so it started me really thinking, you know, along with the dolphins, right? How many seals and fish and shark and stingrays and clams and crabs and all kinds of things, right? Oysters and lobsters, and what's down there? What lies beneath that I can't see? So much of life, you know, that is down there that I just can't see. And then it started me thinking about people, you know, so how much of what we are lies below the sight of other people, you know. I see someone and I make a snap judgment about them. Based on what? Based on what I see, or based on one behavior that they exhibit, or what she says, or what he does, or what the place looks like. Boom, I make a snap judgment, right? And we're, or is that only me? I mean, am I really just, I'm just talking to myself. Okay, so it's just me. I'm the only one that does that. And I am told over and over and over again, that's like really not the thing we should be doing, right? That is not the thing we should be doing. In 1 Samuel 16, it says, "The Lord sees not as man sees. For man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart." I love that. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that beautiful? What a wonderful statement reminding us what we need to be doing. We need to be looking from the heart, looking on the heart. You know, that God self within us needs to be looking out at the God self of others. I think it just speaks to me about seeing other people as God sees them. Seeing as God sees, you know, one divine to the other. It's actually only one, but to see from our own divinity the divine in others. I just think it's so beautiful. But it doesn't always work out that way, right? I mean, sometimes we just react. We just react. And we're not coming from that perfect, peaceful place within us, you know. Someone cuts me off on the freeway and I yell at them, "You fine out-picturing of spirit that you are." Sometimes I say it like that. Sometimes I just wave at them. Sometimes with the whole hand, sometimes with only 1 or 2 fingers. Anyway, you know, and it gets to be the point of where it's like, oh yes, the unskilled behavior in me greets the unskilled behavior in you. You know, we wind up having that kind of encounter. And come on, we've all done it, haven't we? Oh God, I hope so. I really hope so. But here's the thing, we are just there at the superficial level. We're not looking at what lies beneath. We're just bouncing up against each other from unskilled behavior to unskilled behavior. Now, we really don't want to go into judgment, but we do. The thing is, we don't know what lies beneath. We don't know what lies beneath. We don't know. We can't see what lies beneath. That guy that just cut us off on the freeway, hey, maybe he's rushing home because his wife just went into labor. We don't know what lies beneath. Maybe that grumpy cashier you got at Albertsons the other day just got a bad medical report. Maybe that ill-tempered coworker that you're with, maybe she just found out her significant other is cheating. right? Somewhere, someone's mother is dying. Someone's child is sick. Someone just got laid off. Someone is struggling to pay their bills. Someone's family just got an eviction notice. Somebody lost his life savings. We don't know what lies beneath. Life is happening all the time to everybody around us, and we don't know it. We don't know it. We don't see it. And then we just judge by what happens in front of us. We just judge in that instant, that little snapshot. And that's why it is so important not to judge. In John 7:24, it says, "Judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment." And I love that expression, righteous judgment. It's what I think I would call discernment. I think that's different, judgment and discernment. I think the word judgment has a real bad reputation in New Thought. We don't want to judge. Judging is a bad thing. Don't judge me. You don't know me. We tend not to want to judge, but we do it all the time. But there is this thing, there is this discernment that is a life skill. It's a life skill. So we don't want to make snap judgments about people based on one interaction, based on the guy in the freeway or the cashier or whatever, because it's only one encounter. And we might be meeting that person at their worst. We might be meeting that person in their worst moment. Think about the times that we are at our worst, right? Oh my God, have you ever exhibited unskilled behavior? Ever? God, I think about some of the unskilled behaviors that I have exhibited in the past, It's all in the past, I'm perfect now. We all have those moments. We're overtired or we're not feeling well or we just got, a stressor or whatever. And we act out of our unskilled behavior. And so how insane is it to judge someone based on that one snapshot, that one facet, that one moment in time when maybe they're at their worst. And then we judge them. And we judge ourselves too. This is not just an outward thing. We do the same thing with ourselves. Ernest Holmes said this in the commentary. He wrote a commentary on his original 1926 Science of Mind textbook, and he wrote this: "In our work," and he meant our spiritual work, "it is our business to sense everyone as a divine being. And in spiritual healing as we understand it, it is impossible at its highest sense unless we are able to transcend the thought of most human experience." And he said, these are his words, "Get above the sin and the sinner," which means the mistakes, the unskilled behaviors, that is in all of us, "the mistake and its consequence, the law of karma and its fate, the cycle of necessity, of rebirth, of pairs of opposites, horoscope, numberscope, phrenology, palmistry." He listed them all, and even, we have to get above even, and I love this because he said, I don't want you to misunderstand this. He said, and even we have to be healed of Christianity before we can be good Christians. Then what happens? He goes on to say, then we are automatically members of everyone's church. Every Buddhist, every Hindu, every Muslim, every pagan, every Christian, all partake in the same divine life. And each one has built a road to get to that place that he calls good. Then we'll be able to worship with everyone, to understand everyone, to see beneath the surface to our eternal reality. Then we'll be able to move more completely, awake and awaken the divinity that is latent within all of us. That's a powerful, powerful statement. And that is what we're here to do. That's the work we're here to do, to awaken, to look within, and to awaken to the divinity within ourselves. And then it's easier for us to see it in everybody else. It's a beautiful passage. To be able to get beyond the superficial things of life, those snap judgments, to get beneath all of that and to see life for what it really, really is, this divine journey of discovery. It is a divine journey of discovery. It's something that we are determined to do. It is something that we are convinced that we can do. And it's something that we start out every single day doing until someone cuts us off on the freeway. Right? I mean, and then we have the ability to start again, which I love. Then we have the ability to start again. We are spiritual beings. We can do this. Now, that being said, being a spiritual being does not mean being a spiritual doormat in order to be spiritual. Okay? When we judge another, when we do those snap judgment things, he's a jerk, she's a moron, blah, blah, when we do those judgment things, we are labeling people. Now, when we become discerning, we're evaluating how someone else's behavior is landing on us. And see, that's a shift. That's a little different. I can't control anyone else's behavior, but I can decide not to be in his or her company because of how it affects the energy around me. That's discernment. Judging them makes them wrong. Discernment means I'm doing what's right for me. It's a difference. And being on the spiritual path means looking at things differently. It means looking beyond the surface of things to have a more complete idea of people, places, and things. It does us no good to go through life with rose-colored glasses or cloud-colored glasses. Either one. Either way, we're not seeing clearly. We're coloring the condition of things around us. We are in denial when we're not seeing clearly, and we cannot change what we refuse to see. The hopeless romantic, rose-colored glasses, yay. The hopeless romantic is always getting his heart broken. Or the sad sack that is always expecting the worst and getting it. We're looking at conditions in denial. Either way, we're being ruled by a false thought. And so the idea is to really look beneath the surface of things and see them as they are. Ernest Holmes said the outer change never fails to come when the inner thought is intelligently changed. Isn't that wonderful? That's the good news. The outer change never fails to come when the inner thought is intelligently changed. The reason is that human, is all mind. He's not a physical organism containing and using a mind. He is a mind using a body. Big difference. He goes on to say this: that mind built the body as a vehicle for intelligence and expresses its thoughts in physical form, appearance, and circumstances. Thus, all the exterior happenings in his life are merely extensions of that thought. So you're not a body, you're not your body, you're a mind. You're a mind who has just temporarily possessed this body and is using it as a vehicle to get around for self-expression. So we need to look within. All exterior is a reflection of interior thoughts. And Carl Jung said, who looks outside dreams and who looks within awakens. That's the journey that we're on. We are on that journey of awakening. We look within to the only place we can make change. It is the only place. We have to be brave enough and fearless enough to look within to those places in denial, and Reverend Diane said so well in that quote before the meditation, to look fearlessly and with courage to those places within us that we are denying, the places we don't want to look at, the places where we judge others out of the burden of our own shadow nature. It's easy for me to look over there and go, she's a witch. Because I am in denial of my own witchiness. I love that word. Okay. So it's about being brave enough to go within and to look at the unhealed aspects of our own nature and to heal those. Someone said we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. I think that was Anais Nin who said that. We don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. So the only way we get to heal is by looking within, fearlessly and courageously looking within and addressing those unhealed aspects from our past, from our childhood, from those false beliefs when we were in fear, from those things that keep us from seeing others as the divine and innocent outpicturing of spirit that they are. We can only heal those things within us that we fearlessly face. Change is always from the inside out. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, in Journey into Life, the birth of a new state of consciousness is an inner transformation. It is a state of consciousness which no longer depends upon the condition as it appears, but which reaches through the seen to the unseen, which plunges beneath the surface and arrives at the spiritual cause of things. Do not allow anyone to close the door of your thought to that which your spirit instinctively and intuitively senses. There is a realm of consciousness which, while it does not, nor can it ever transcend law and order, it can and will transcend human experience. And that is the promise, that is the assurance that we have in this faith tradition. And it's ancient. Socrates talked about it. Sophocles talked about it. Everyone on the mystical spiritual journey talked about it. That all change is inner change. That we transform from the inside out. That when we have a better idea, we have a better demonstration. When we come from a point of wholeness and unconditional love, we see it around us. We see it more and more. So I challenge you this month with our theme, Stop, Look, and Listen, that whatever your spiritual practice is, if it does not include meditation, take it on. If you are meditating, double it. Double it. Just for this month. Look in the silence, open-hearted, fearlessly, and with courage to the mystery of your own soul. Confront the good, the bad, and the ugly that's in there. See what needs to be healed and do the work of healing it, transforming it from the false belief into the truth of wholeness. We cannot transform what we do not accept, right? There's that old saying about what you resist persists, what you accept you can transform. We have to accept what we find in meditation, in contemplation, where we see where we're limited, where we see where we're in fear, where we see we're not looking at things as they are, but as we are. This week, look fearlessly and courageously, look, and do the work of change, do the work of transformation. That's why we're here, because when we transform ourselves within, then we become the place of healing for the people around us. And then they begin to do the work of healing. And then when they do the work of healing, they take that home and they begin to do the work of healing around their families and their friends. And then pretty soon we've healed a community, we've healed a state, we've healed a nation, and then we've healed the world. That's what we're here to do. We're here to awaken to the divinity that we are and to be those agents of change that we know the world is so desperately calling for. We know the quality of God is peace. It's not war. It's not conflict. It's not chaos. We know the quality of God is peace, is joy, is love, unity, wisdom, and wholeness. We know these are the qualities of God. These are the things that we know to demonstrate in the world. And by doing that, we transform the world. But first and foremost, we have to look within, and we have to transform those things within ourselves. So you with me? Yeah. Do you take up the challenge to meditate this month, to know peace, to know love, to know joy? I am with you. I align with you, and I so affirm that. And next month, it's going to be a whole new deal. Thank you so much. Thank you.